Welcome to the anatomy of your Fix Your Funnel automated conversation. In this little cheat sheet, what I've done is I've broken down our own automated conversation, and I'm explaining all the little pieces that are in there so you can decide how you want to construct your own automated conversation for the most effectiveness. So we're going to start at 1 and go all the way down through 14, and we'll hit this little part at the end. But the first thing is keyword selection. You have your own Fix Your Funnel phone number. Nobody else is sharing that with you. It's your very own. And because of that, you can pick any keyword you want. So pick a keyword that's short and easy to spell. Avoid keywords that are common words that people would start a sentence with, like hello, hi, how, what. These kind of beginning of a sentence questions, because we don't want our live text messages to accidentally be picked up by automation. We want our automation to be isolated. But pick a good, easy keyword. We chose demo for our primary keyword because demo is a simple word to spell. It's easy to type in. It makes it really simple for people to text that into our phone number. Okay? Don't make it difficult for people. Don't use long words or difficult to spell words or combinations of letters and numbers that don't make any sense or may be auto-corrected. Okay? Make it easy for them. The second concept is you want your first text message. This is the first text message in our conversation after they text the demo. Our first response should be text only. And the reason why is because there are two different tracks for text messages to be sent through. There is a text only track and then a text and media track. And in the networks, the text only is significantly faster, sometimes down to under a second. But when you add media to it, it can take anywhere from 10 seconds to 60 seconds. So avoid doing that in the first step. We want to give people confirmation that they texted in the right keyword to the right phone number, because everyone wants to do the right thing, and this will help them to know they did the right thing. Okay? Number 3, always ask for at least the name on the email. The ideal number, and I'll hit it right down here, I think the ideal number of steps in an automated conversation is 3. Okay? 3 steps. I think that's the ideal. And the reason why is because that is enough for us to collect a name and an email address, but it's also enough to open up the mind of the prospect to this concept of carrying on a conversation via texting. And so we want to get them moving and letting the automated conversation kind of handle that first part, collect the name, collect the email, stick that back into our Infusionsoft, and tag along the way. But let the automated part do that. And if you collect that name and email, that gives you the opportunity to personalize messages to this contact in the future. And obviously the email as well as text. Number 4, your conversation flow. Each message should have these 3 components: express gratitude, ask for something, and then make a promise. And a little play to our Mandalorian friends. This is the way. So the reason we always start with gratitude is because there's not enough of it in the world. And when you express gratitude, it just turns on a good feeling in everybody. So always thank people for what they've done. We want to be appreciative, and it also helps reinforce good behavior in the future with our company. Then ask for what you want. Be really clear and straight to the point. Don't get fancy or wordy in this. Reply with your name. It's that simple. We've been doing this for nearly a decade now, and this has worked great. So follow the same formula. Don't get fancy. Ask for something. Ask for it as simply as you can. Make a promise, okay? I will show you something powerful. Whatever it is that you're going to do in the next step or through this conversation, make some sort of promise to keep people moving forward. I'm excited to send you the report. That's a promise as well. So whatever it is, make that promise and move them down the conversation. You'll see I do it in every possible message that I can. I try and get a thanks in there. You also notice I'm doing personalization. I'm trying to make sure that this has a positive feel to it throughout, okay? Number 5, expand the message. If you need to do a longer message, sort of like this one, you'll see this one is much shorter because that's 160 characters. It's text only. If I want to do a longer message, I need to attach media. In this case, I attached a V card or a contact card, which I'll get to in just a moment. So if you want to do that, that's great, because what that does, it gives you 10 times as many characters that you can use for only a penny more. So that's a great value. If you're going to go over, if I were to send this message without attaching media, I'm going to be charged for 2 or 3 messages. And we want to avoid that for you. And we want to reduce your cost overall for doing texting. Not that it's a big concern, but we want it to be somewhat manageable. So why not 10 times your message length for a penny more by adding media? So you can add either an image or a contact card. So we'll get to that in a little bit more. Avoid word walls. This is a word wall. This is a bad example. I kept this one in here. This is a bad example. We did this. This is about as tall as you want a paragraph to get. You'll see here I broke it up more responsibly, okay? But there, that's too long. I should have broke it up in here somewhere. Maybe even though I got those 2 sentences, a break here and a break here, that would have been fine. You know, those 2 breaks would have been good. So avoid those word walls. It makes it easier for people to digest information when it's broken into lines like this in the little paragraphs, even if it's just 1 sentence for the paragraph, okay? Number 7, contact cards. Contact cards are great because this allows you to get your company name, your company logo, all your phone numbers, all your emails, your website addresses, even maybe even a little note, all on their phone. Now, while they may not use all of that, if they install this little contact card by tapping on it and saying add to my contact, what will happen is that every time we call, text, or email them, our logo is going to show up right next to it. If you use your face on the V card, the contact card, it'll be your face right there. And that's fantastic for branding. While I'm more of a direct response marketer, I'm not going to pass any opportunity to brand. I'm going to keep that in mind and make sure that's included. So you do the same. Include a contact card when you need to expand to over 160 characters in a single text message in your automated conversation. Okay, next is images. We have 2 types of images you can use, static or dynamic. This one is dynamic. You'll see I have merged in the name that I collected right here into this image. And so that dynamic image is done through a company called Nifty Images. And so you can go to Nifty Images and get a little account there. And if you want to do these dynamic images, those work on websites, on emails, and of course in fixture funnel text messages. But either way, if you're using a dynamic image or a static image, it's a great way to deliver cheat sheets, sort of like this one. You may have received this in that format. Or, an infographic or something else that kind of allows you to tell a story in a picture. That's a great way to do it, and it captures attention. And it expands us out to the 1,600 characters. So that's a big win. The next 2 things are in either or, usually. You'll see in this situation I'll have both of them, but normally it's an either or. And that is surveys. I love surveys in text message conversations. So I go keyword, ask for their name, ask for their email, and then link to a survey. This allows me to kind of direct the contact's thoughts using my questions and learn more about where they are in the customer journey. So powerful. We'll typically use a survey right before we ask them to set an appointment with us if we're going for an appointment. I'll get more into that in a different cheat sheet. The other option, which you got to have one or the other, sometimes you can do both, is the conversation starter. So if I'm not going to do a survey, I absolutely want to do this question. Why did you text demo to our number today? This is what's called a conversation starter because all sales happen in conversation. I'm always looking for ways in my text messages to start a conversation. And can you imagine how great it would be if you were generating a lead and by the time you got all the way down to the end, not only were you generating the lead, but you were also now starting a conversation that could go into a sales opportunity. So conversation starters are a must-have. I right here did both, but you can do one or the other, and I give you a little direction on that down here, and we'll get into that in just a second. Okay, 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. So each of these I call a step in the process. Okay, here's 2 steps, and then here's the 3rd step. So no more than 3 is my kind of rule of thumb. I see people go a little bit longer, but I don't think they win any points by doing it. And, just as a little more cost and all that. So stick with 3. I think that's the perfect number after nearly a decade of doing texting for business. That's what I've discovered. Okay, tagging steps. Each step of this conversation has the capacity to be tagged. So we have a tag that will be applied here, a tag that will be applied here, and a tag that will be applied here. What you'll see here is that tag gets applied after we save information to the contact record. So we know that that information is available for any automation we do. This point right here, after we've collected their email address, is the key point. This tag that we have at this point, this little guy here, we want that tag to be associated with the tag goal so we can set off automation. So that's really important. So make sure that you are using those tags, okay, because that's going to be the big deal, is using that to kick off automation. And then, like if we're doing something like this, what this is a survey, well, this is also what we call a trackable link. You're going to get your own domain name, so you have a customized domain for your trackable links. And that trackable link, what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to apply a tag when they tap that link. So that can change your conversation that you have with people later. So that's why tagging steps and also tagging in these trackable links is so important, is it allows you to run automation based on customer or prospect behavior. Okay. Next, install the app. You got to install the app, because what's going to happen is people are going to respond to this question. And when they do, we want to make sure that your team members, you and your team members, get notified of those incoming text messages. Of course, we have our desktop app that you can use through the web. Just log in at dialer.fixyourfunnel.com and you can see that. But if you install the app, you'll also be able to have that pop up on your phone, or if you have one of these smartwatches, it'll pop up on your smartwatch. That way you don't miss any opportunity to sell that comes from your automation. And then finally, you want to assign team members to be notified. You can do this in the live texting section by going to messaging and then going to team members, and then pick the team members and assign numbers to them. When you do that, they'll get notifications on the smartphone app that they installed. So that'll be really good. And that way you can have those conversations. Now, finally, we have this question of, should I start a conversation with a conversation starter, or should I use a survey? And the answer is if your prospect is one who needs to gather some information before they can make a buying decision, use a survey every time, because that survey is going to help you determine where they are and what they know, so that you can be able to tailor your marketing and your future conversation starters based on their answers. So definitely do the survey if you have a little more complex buying decision that your prospects need to go through. If your prospects, as soon as they text in your keyword, already know what they need to know to make a buying decision, then go straight for the conversation starting question. They're going to be best prepared for that. And you don't have to use this "why did you" text demo or whatever your keyword was to our number today. That's just an easy generic one I used just to give a sample to people of what they could do. You could ask a more specific question about their buying journey that would help them to be able to clarify where they are and how you can help them. Not everybody is going to respond to this question. Not everybody taps on the link. I know that because we have statistics on all of this for our own company. But who does are the people that are ready to move forward. And so that's a really exciting signal that you receive when people tap that link or when they respond to this question, that this person is pretty serious about moving forward. And so you can easily filter all the leads from the actual potential buyers based on who responds to this last part of the conversation. So drip on the rest of them, continue to nurture the rest of those leads, but you will know really quick who are the people that are most serious about taking action based on those who answer questions and tap those links. So hope this anatomy of the Fix Your Funnel automated conversation helps you to better organize your own conversations and know how to use them effectively to be able to generate new leads and new customers by creating new conversations, remembering that all sales happen in conversations. Now, if you have any questions at all about what you have seen in this video, or you wonder if you've set up your conversation properly, go ahead and message into our support team and they will help you out. Just verify that you've got everything set up. They'll look over things if you want them to look for. They know what to look for, so they're happy to do it. They'll jump on a screen share, a phone call, or just chat with you, however you want to do it, and they'll help you out. So excited to have you as part of the Fix Your Funnel users, and we hope that you'll get the success that you were looking for when you started with us. Let us help you. That's what we're here for.